Welcome back to another reaction, this time for My Hero Academia Vigilante Season 2, Episode 2. We try to find some drugs. Luigi has the ability to know to use something like gravity, or he can stuck to things. That's mostly it. Right, so we have a whole flashback. Okay. Here we have end of flashback. How long is this? Like 1.5 minute flashback? Okay.
これまでの調査結果から彼らは物流の現場に
Grab seafood, boat, processing, preserve treated, trigger, question mark? Delivered by truck, distributed to stores, so trigger is still being hunted. Last time Eraser had made it sound like you only wanted the dirty trigger instead of all the trigger, but sure.
商品の中にドラッグを入れ、個人名義の受取先に配送していると考えられます。つまり、一般企業の業務用販路への規制。この方法は短期間で販路を乗り換えることができるため、なかなか尻尾がつかめへんと。
Is it so?
せやけど、来ない仕入れにいちいち手間暇かけとったら商売にならへんのとちゃいまっか。
これはただのドラッグ商売じゃねえぞ。
商売ではないのかもしれません。以前うちの者も言っていたのですが、どうも彼らの行動には経済性を軽視する傾向があるようです。
そら厄介やな。損得なしで悪さしよる連中はどうにも動きが読まれへん。
そこでうちらの出番というわけやね。
ええ。流動的な薬物ルートを現場サイドから抑えることができれば、我々は彼らファクトリーの存在に大きく迫れるはずです。
美少女捜査官出動やで。
Okay. So they know it is not for monetary reasons, which I believe it was just a test to see how it works. At least it was last season. Maybe it's more of that. Craptastic Rampage.
現場にはカニ道家の冷蔵庫に作業アームが2台と作業員3名。
状況確認しました。
2台と作業員3
What is the third worker doing? We only have 2 of these. Is he the supervisor?
名。
状況確認しました。
積み人の中に赤もんが紛れ込んどるわけか。さあ、気張ってくで。
What are you using the gun for? Are you shooting the workers? Is that the idea?
あれカニコちゃんどうしたん？
どうも、お疲れさ。今さっき売り場で伝票違いが見つかってな。出荷前に現場確認しとけって言われてん。
急に言われてもな。
作業やめなあかんの？
ああ、ええよ。続けて続けて。こっちはうちがやっとくから。タブレットをちょっと貸してな。
彼女現場にとても馴染んでますね。
それがあいつの取り柄ですね。あの愛嬌とけったいなキャラでどこ行っても顔パスですわ。
優秀だ。
カニ道家の通販は行産の種類のカニを扱うてるんやけど、パッケージは共通なんよね。つまり外見じゃ区別がつかんわけやね。冷凍もんやから梱包もしっかりされとるし、完全なブラックボックスいうわけよ。管理はバーコード任せやから、流通の中にありえへん商品が混じっとっても誰も気づかへん。ね、冷凍 やから梱包もしっかりされとるし、完全なブラックボックスにありえへん商品がまじ。
So the idea is that we have this drug, we have like a box full of crabs, and we have in the, extra areas where they, because they don't stack 100%, we put a little bit of the drug. That is how we transport it. Or do we have an extra box that is only the drug? And then the question is, where is it going?
じっとっても誰も気づかへん。ピッピッピーの。おいメッケ、このトクトクセット D 運がそれや。通販サイトにはトクトクセットは ABC までしか載っとらん。特別なお客様だけにお届けするプレミアムなお品物いうわけや。で、あれ
Are those ice packs? Would make sense. For me, it's just okay. You could hide the drugs inside the crab. Additionally, I would probably hide the drugs inside the crab automaton because it has this big bag.
見たところただのカニやな。二重底ではないわな。保冷剤を。
What is that black thing?
なんかサイズが2種類あるな。ん？そうか。
どうもカニコさん、伝票の不備ですって。え、箱開けちゃったんですか？それもう売り物にならないでしょう。参ったな。
やかましいな。うちは今忙しいね。っていうかさ、お前誰やねん。
俺は配送担当のバイトで。
嘘こけ。バイトの顔は
I assumed as much. That she knows everyone and she can identify who's not one of the worker, which is, I feel like everyone should be able to tell apart. If there are 3 people working here. If there's one of them you don't know, you pretty easily can identify them. Because everyone knows each other.
全員知っとるわ。こちらカニ屋敷。不審人物と接触。証拠の物も発見した。カニ屋のって保冷剤に偽装してあったんや。騙されかけたわ。
了解。待機班。
Did they really almost make it past you? It is clearly different.
現場に入ります。
搬入先のリストはタブレットに入っとるし、おまけに重要参考人までついてきて、これにてミッションコンプリのプリップリや。
へえ、やるな、カニコさん。
動くな。
Now the question is she a hero? I am assuming not, so she doesn't really have much chance here.
動いたら撃つで。その銃撃つの。こちらカニ屋敷。ヴィランに遭遇。鉄
What did you expect to happen? You are following the distribution of a drug that is for villains or heroes to enhance their ability. So you probably have villains be part of this. It just makes more sense.
を取られてもうた。あと証拠のタブレット。
なんやと。
そうや。
そいつは俺の出番いうことやな。
警察だ。動くな。全員作業を中断し、両手を上げろ。
そこのヴィラン、何を言うかましとんねん。自分に言うとんねんで。まあ、なんならその鉄砲使うて遊んでもええねんけどな。
Why did we not explain what happened as well?
いや、そいつは遠慮しておきます。
Because they don't know what his power is.
俺はただルートの撤収をしに来ただけ。
That is far too much information already. Okay, he, I guess, hacked these things. Now, I can totally understand if you are able to infiltrate this. This storyline would make more sense if you had someone similar to the policewoman who infiltrated the company, and then slowly but surely they made a little program, installed that on these crab workers. They could then remote activate. They would be able to do all these, transportation thingies there. Him being super fast on the tablet, that doesn't work. There, the physical overlay is not that fast. I don't know why exactly, but if you ever had to work on any overlay or UI, there's like a little bit lag. You click a button, go back. It takes like a couple milliseconds to then click the next button. I don't believe that this would be that feasible. But it's a superhero show stuff. Oh, is this one also going crazy?
国内50店舗を有機的に結ぶ独自の運送ネットワーク。それが私どもカニ堂ケチェ園の日本全国いつでもどこでも変わらない美味しさの秘密なのであります。
もう帰りたい。
Yeah, Koichi should be in there instead of her.
何
ポップ。
何や自分ら荷運び用のカニアムが襲ってきよる。
パッドコム。
何しよんねん。どつくれほんま。
あかんでファーヤン乗ってるんは片木のおっちゃんだや。
何や人質か。やりにくい。
怪我させんよう抑えてて。
そんな無茶なやってやるんがファットガムや。
ナイスよファーヤン。
Are you a hero? Looks like you want to snip. Oh. So, what exactly did he program? He just programmed, hey, robots fight against heroes? I guess. Okay.
自称美少女捜査官。
They've described police babe. Snip clip. Huh. Now everything makes a lot more sense. Okay. Seems like a very useful ability.
谷屋敷モニカ、個性、ハサミ。
Can she snip through everything or anything? Meta seems to be doable. I feel like that is a pretty useful ability, even in daily life. I never use them, but if you want to cube like meat, as example, you can use scissors. You can use, food scissors, which most biggest difference is that you can open them up, or you can not open but divide the two blades in those scissors easily, so you can clean them easier instead of having to unscrew the screw in the middle or whatever holds the scissors together. So she can just use her fingers. She can cut all the greens for food as well, which is nice. She can cut fabric. Can probably even she could cut wood. Also very useful. Very useful ability.
指で挟めるものなら大体切断できるで。
チョキチョキ。おい、人質解放や。もう手加減いらんで。ファイヤー。
せやけど自分構成使ったらあかんのとちゃうか。
Why not?
一応警察やろ。
しまっ。
Oh. Because she's not a hero. And if you're not a hero, you are not allowed to use your quirk. Which people would not listen. People would use their quirk whenever they want. In smaller areas.
しょぼんやね。
あら、お見事。
動くな。次も当てる。
そいつはご勘弁。
I mean, he already attacked you. Will it not make sense to neutralize him? At least shoot him in the leg. That info would have been very useful at the beginning.
加速に類する個性。だとすれば、一瞬でも目を離せば確実に隙を突かれる。
He's super fast. It doesn't matter if you look at him. Unless your abilities to, like Eraserhead, disable his quirk by looking at him. You're not going to hit him either if you had your chance. Now he can just run away from the bullet.
両手を上げ、ゆっくりと腹ばいに。
はいはい、ゆっくりと。ね。
Just shoot him in the leg. It's not even killing him. Just disable his leg. That would mean that the one with Pop is also exploding.
証拠隠滅か。
そういうこと。
しまっ。
じゃ、さよなら。
待て。
なんやステージの方で騒ぎが。
あかん。会場にもまだ1台おんで。
なんやて。
あれが人混みで爆発したら。
I mean, it's already too late.
止めるぜ。スカウチさんらはヴィランを。
了解。
人が巻き込まれたぞ。
兄ちゃん平気か。
くそ。こんな時マイトパーカーがあれば。あれ
Why?
もう被害出とるやないか。
おった。
Oh, because he can't show himself using his quirk because he's not allowed to use his quirk. So he needs to hide himself, which is the All Might Parker. Okay.
やっぱり暴走したる。はよ止めな。カニ道家の売り場まで行ったら爆発すんで。
よっしゃ
ファーヤもっと急いでよ。
これで全速力やがな。なんやあれ、ごっつい速さや。
You do not have a mask, though. And also the question is, how do you get her out of that?
ポップ大丈夫？無事なら何より。このパーカーに感謝かな。
何マイトパーカー？今日持ってきてたっけ？
いつもとちょっと違うこの俺は旅先でレアモノパーカーをゲットした喜びの男、ザ・クロウラータワートゥーヘブン。
いいから早く助けてよ。
はいはい。ところでどうやって？
もうバカ！
毎度ー。
You really bought it?
被疑者は危険個性を有する爆弾犯。警告と威嚇に対し投降の意思なし。やむをえん、撃て！
Now you're using your guns. And how are you able to run after him? He's super fast.
また加速。
だからカリコさんも言ってたでしょ、素早いんすよ俺は。
I hope there's an explanation why he's doing this. Maybe he can't speed up for long?
拳銃なんか無駄無駄。
いや、射撃は有効だ。
Finally!
確保！時間稼ぎのような言動から見て、連続加速にはおそらく数秒程度のインターバルが必要だ。その隙を捉えれば拳銃で制圧できる。
ご明察。
So everything slows down for him. Okay. How did you get up? You have injured leg, you have someone on top of you. That weight is not going to disappear. I know I'm really nitpicky, but you know, those are the things I'm concentrating on right now.
撃たれた。足折れた。折れてない。かすっただけ。ちょっと拝見。はいはい、弾丸は弱装ゴム弾っすか。これならためらわずに撃てるってわけっすか。ふざけんなよ。死ななきゃいいってもんじゃないでしょ。しっくし。てかこれ、超痛いっすから。あ、誤解されたくないんすけど、俺はそんなに悪いやつじゃないんすよ。暴力とか全然好きじゃないですし。なので防弾チョッキの上からにしといてあげますけど、うっかり死んだらすみません。
His ability was active for far longer than before. This whole scene doesn't make sense.
待ちません。じゃあそういうことで。
あった。背中にレバーが。効かない。暴走してるから。
あかん。ロボが売り場に突き寄る。爆発や。
てかわざわざ背中に張り付いた兄ちゃんは何やねん。巻き込まれんで。
しゃあない。ファイヤー、あれ頼むわ。
あれってあれか。
あれはあれやんか。
分かった、あれやな。ほな行くで。
はいな。 ロケットカニバサミ
カニコさん。
足で挟めるものだったら大体切断できるね。
Huh. That is a really useful ability. She can cut a lot of stuff. As long as she's allowed to use her quirk, which he's saying that paperwork is on the way. I'm assuming to be a hero, or at least get permission to use the ability.
足は止めちゃった。
ポッパ。
あら兄ちゃん、よう見たらポップちゃんの付き添いの子やないの。はよ離れや、危ないで。
でも中にポップが。
え、なんでやねん。
カニコさんの代理で。
それうちのせいか。ごめんなポップちゃん。おい、救出。
大丈夫。なんだ。
点滅。やば、動けんくなっても爆発するんか。
え、爆発。
あかん、逃げて。
ポップは先に飛んで逃げて。ポップポップ、捕まって。よし。
あかん、もう時間が。
そこにファーッと三目を到着や。
Okay.
ファットガムの衝撃吸着、脂肪の燃焼と引き換えに衝撃を体内に保持するで。
衝撃が大きすぎて長いこと抑えられへん。はよ逃げよ
まだ危ないで。離れて、離れて。
そして衝撃解放やで。
So he takes the explosion inside. He burns through his fat as currency, whatever, and then releases the explosion still. I mean, you could take the explosion, enemy throws explosion at you, you take it in, you go to the enemy, you explode. Okay.
危ないとこやった。ギリギリやったな。
脂肪がなくなるとこんな感じやで。
I'm assuming all his abilities take fat, so he needs to get more. I'm also assuming that he is able to get a lot of fat real quick.
で、カニコ、怪我人は？
大丈夫、おらへんよ。会場はめちゃめちゃやけど。
まあ細かいことはええやろ。それより塚内さんらの応援から脂肪ももっとためなあかん。
忙しいな。
カニコさん、何がどないなってるの？
後でまるっと説明しますわ。ちょっと待っとって。
待つって俺たちもかな。
それはそうなんじゃない？
そろそろ帰りの電車の時間だけど、遅くなるならお家の方に連絡しとく。
ああ、親バレは避けたいかも。
あ、俺も実家の母はまずい。父は平気だけど。
ポップちゃんたち返してもうた？
そうやかてうちが一方的に巻き込んでしもたわけですし、無理に引き止められまへんで。っていうか、なんでカニコさんが警察に？
まあ悪い子らやないねんけど。
事件の参考人やで。
事件？一応連絡先は預かってます。
You know them already. You are like, oh, this is the one from the other part, and you're like, keep an eye out on her. And now you're like, oh.
拝見します。
誠
兄さ
All right. Yeah, there was that too. Yeah.
いやー、今日はいろいろあったけど、なんだかんだで楽
By the way, you are not allowed to do that, right?
しかったね。
ん。あんたどこまでのんきなのよ。大事件だったじゃない。
あ、そうだ。駅でみんなのお土産買ってこう。
You're going to miss the train again. Okay.
俺が来たー！ポップ、捕まって！君って本当に頭が下げられない子だよね。
あの
Yeah, he's out cold.
さっきはあり。
もう食べられない。
I'm more wondering how she is still up because she worked the whole day. Was a lot of stuff. It's evening or night even. Train back.
バカ。
Yeah. She's like a shonen show. It felt a little bit weird with the speed guy. There was also the third crab. Why didn't it just explode when the other ones were? Or was the idea they need to go to the trucks? But it then exploded. Maybe there's like an extra step where if it doesn't move for a period of time, it explodes. Mm. You know, naturally all pretty nitpicky. But we had a little fight. We didn't really get to see the heroes fight, which is a little bit sad. But maybe next episode. Maybe.